I'm going to bring Walser Wealth Management President Rebecca Walser. You know, Rebecca, you've talked about things like this for a long time. What's amazing to me is that we've got one of the most amazing economies in history. After World War I, you know, the Versailles Treaty wasn't about the war machine. It was about slowing down the German economic machine, the industrial machine, so that the rest of Europe could catch up. Germany has always been ahead of their peers in Europe and around the world, and they've given that up. Why are we going down the same path?
You know, it reminds me of when Trump was speaking at the United Nations and spoke directly to Germany and addressed their threat of them relying too much on Russia. And then obviously after the Nord Stream pipelines last year, this is exactly the problem with Germany specifically. They were way too reliant on Russia. They shut down their own nuclear power plants, their own coal-fired power plants, Charles, and now they're having to digress and go back and figure out what they can fire back up to actually meet the energy needs. And you're right, they are leveraging the Green Deal because it's really hard to argue against something that everyone believes is moral, which is to take care of the earth. So if you're setting up a moral hazard when you put somebody on the opposite argument of you of, no, you don't believe in Green New Deal, well, you must be against the earth. It's very easy to argue against anybody who isn't for ESG because they're not for the earth. But that's not true. What they don't tell us and what they don't go for with Charles is they don't tell us what is the energy capacity and what does that lifestyle look like with just green energy? Because if they were to actually address the public and tell people you're not going to be able to fly, you're not going to be able to have a car, because they want to move everybody. They've already mandated. They want to move everybody to EV, we know, by 2030 or something crazy. And the fact is we don't have the electric grid in America, Charles, that will support all of the combustible engines being moved to electric vehicles. We don't have it.
Right.
So they're trying to get us to completely change our lifestyle.
I like what you were saying about, you know, the framing it in the sense that, hey, who doesn't like the earth? You know, these wildfires, you know, the wildfire, of course, in Canada with the smoke drifting over here into northern states. The irony there between Canada and California, they've got one thing in common. They won't manage the forest. They're just letting it grow. Right. They don't understand clearing. If they would just do the job of managing forests, we wouldn't have these. Instead, they use it as a political tool. And now we're hearing that's the latest example of changing our entire lives. Here's a question I've got for you, because I've only got 30 seconds. These kind of major headlines that keep coming across, whether the domestic or geopolitical news, they don't seem to impact the stock market.
I know. This is the strangest market we've ever had. I personally think that this is the market that is so untethered to the reality of underlying what's going on. And I think that as reality comes forward, Charles, the market's going to get very volatile. I know that everyone thinks we're back into the bull and we're taking off. And I wish that were true. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think there's a lot of information coming. And tomorrow is going to not be a good day. We're going to have some geopolitical upheavals now, and it's going to get rocky.
All right. Well, we'll keep checking in with you as well, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.